Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news the old normal service seems to be being resumed, with the giant American economy regaining its role as the engine of global growth. In the US, the number of recorded job layoffs in May is now down to about 25,000 amongst large reporting companies and very much back to pre-pandemic levels. And the level of initial jobless claims came in lower than expected, but only slightly so. There are now 3.5 million people on these benefits, still more than pre-pandemic, but far, far less than a year ago when there were 19 million people dependent on them. Tomorrow we get the official non-farm payrolls report for May, and it is expected to show a modest improvement from the unexpectedly weak April result. Today we got the precursor ADP employment report, and it came in much better than expected, with 978,000 more jobs, with gains across the board except in the IT industry. Half of those overall gains were in the hospitality sector. The two large PMI surveys reported their May data for the large services sector in the US, and both describe booming conditions. The ISM one and the market one have the expansion pegged at its strongest since these surveys were started. These results feed into a global PMI, and that shows the international economy expanding across all sectors and at a 15-year high. But in China, their services sector isn't contributing much to that global expansion. In India, things are dire as their pandemic bites hard, both in manufacturing and services. It is the US that is the global engine now, supported by the EU, but not Japan. South Korea and Taiwan are, however, supporting it. And so was Australia. In addition, Australia recorded a strong trade surplus of $8 billion in April for both goods and services due to an increase in exports and a decrease in imports. Meanwhile, China has reportedly reached out recently to both New Zealand and Singapore to try and find a way to join the TPP. Of equal interest is whether the US will attempt to revive its interest in joining the trade zone it had initiated. And the US 10-year yield starts today up 3 basis points at 1.62%. And the price of gold starts today at $1,872 an ounce, a sharp $36 drop from this time yesterday. Silver prices fell even harder, down 2.6% in a day. And oil prices start today unchanged at yesterday's higher $68.50 a barrel level in the US, while the international Brent price is still at $71 a barrel and holding to a 2-year high. And the Kiwi dollar opens today at 71.3 US cents and a full 1 cent drop overnight. About half of this is a greenback strength and about half is flight from commodity currencies. Against the Australian dollar, we're down marginally to 93.2 Australian cents, but against the euro, we're almost a half a cent lower at 58.8 euro cents. That means our trade weight index starts today at 73.2, but this is only back to where it was 2 weeks ago. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.